What is going on after hours? We're going to be doing an install, some off-road lights, and a switch panel in this Tacoma. So what we got here, Amazon goodies. This is from Aux Power. Let's do this. Get this thing opened up here. Never used these before. I've used a bunch of other companies like Auxbeam, S-Pod, all great companies. This is more of a budget-friendly option, kind of something extra I want to do on the truck after redoing it. Comes with all the decals for the switch. This is what they call a 4-gang setup. So we have up to 4 different accessories we can add on to this. And then if you guys haven't used one of these before, they send you a bunch of stickers, light bar, flood, windshield, driver. The list is endless. Anyways, this gets mounted in the cab. It's got this one wire that hooks up to a lead, which is right here. What's nice about these is instead of running a bunch of wires, bunch of relays, fuses, and all that good stuff, you hook this one wire from here in the cab, and this is the only thing you got to run through your firewall, up to this control box. In here has all the fuses and everything all built into it. Makes a real clean install, real simple. I love these things. This is a company I haven't worked with yet, so we're going to give it a shot. The unit comes with this little bracket, so we got to find a place to put it in here. And I'm thinking right here will work. But right now it kind of sits at an angle. So I'm going to take this over, bend these tabs down, get that to sit so that's nice and flush in here. And that'll be good. We're going to mark out these 2 holes for these 2 spots. We'll drill into here. Get these set, and we should be in good shape. Put that there. All right, we got our holes marked out here. Mark here and another one right there. So we're going to pre-drill these. I'm just going to use self-tappers. I have no way to get a bolt in the back here, and I love using nut certs, but unfortunately there's no room there for them. So we're going to go grab a drill bit, get things set up, and go from there. Now for mounting this bracket, we're going to use some 10/16x1 self-tappers. Okay. What we're going to do first is mount the box onto here. Bracket's pretty nice. They give you all sorts of movement and adjustment holes here. Now the one thing to keep in mind with all of these is the wires are fed up from underneath the box. So you don't want to cover the end of the box. You always want to leave it exposed or further back in. So we're going to mount ours right here on these first elongated slots. Bolt that there. Leaves us just enough room to get our wires in. Now, I typically don't like doing this, but very convenient place to mount breakers and relays is on top of the existing fuse panel. I usually like to make brackets for this, but we're trying to keep this one simple and quick. So what I'm going to do is pop this fuse cover off, this to that, we'll be good. Now, if you're going to take this quick way out, bring it right in here. One thing to keep in mind is try not to drill or mount through any of your fuses that are labeled. So if we put it right around here, we got to drill in here, it's not going to cover nothing. Perfect. The other thing you got to keep in mind here is if you do bolts through a fuse cover like this, you got to make sure they're not going to come in contact with anything under the lid. It's another reason why you don't drill over anything that's labeled, because if there's nothing below it there, you'll clear it underneath. So this fits awesome. Next thing we need to do is figure out our mounting location for the control pad in the cab. Now, this control pad comes with this little mounting bracket here. I think we got it. Here, let's bring you right in here. This bracket here, oh, by the way, say hi to Hank. That's Hank. He kind of hangs out in here. So, you got two little holes here. On this bracket, you got two holes here. So this will just get effectively screwed onto this. Screw this here. These are just two blank covers. We'll mount that there and then mount this right here. And if we go over there, that's fifth gear. We got plenty of room to mount that there. And we can tuck this wire down underneath behind all the plastics and out the firewall. There we go. Let's go see if I did this right. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. Except for that. I got to tighten these screws up, but we're going to wait until we get this wire ran right here. This has to get tucked up underneath the dash. And then that harness that was provided, we're going to bring that from the engine bay and that control panel we installed up into the cab over here. All right, so what we got going on is, look down in here, there's a rubber grommet here, the wiring harness goes through it, and the hood latch. So all I did was make a nice little slice in that rubber boot. Make sure you don't hit the damn wiring harness. Then you just feed this wire through, come around to the inside, and look up in here, right there is our wire. Beautiful. And what we'll do is we'll get up in here, tuck that back up there, pretend we didn't see that, and we'll tuck this wire will get fed up in here, across, down under in here, and then we'll come back up and through to the switch, which will be right there. Now, before the comments start, these are not for off-roading. There's no structural integrity. They are simply cosmetic or to mount lights. This is not an off-road truck. My friend throws her kayaks in it, goes to the lake. That's about it. A little bit of truck stuff, not an off-roader. Do not buy these if you intend to go off-roading. They will not provide any protection. The bull bar is simply for cosmetics. Just took some measurements, and unfortunately, we're not going to be able to put all four in this front bumper. These lights are just a little bit too wide with the mounting screws on the sides to get all four in there. I think 3 is going to look stupid. So we're just going to stick with 2. We'll get these things mounted up. When you're putting these in, don't fully tighten everything, just snug it up so it stays put. What we'll do afterwards, since it's daytime today, it's the weekend, we'll turn the lights off in the shop. I have a nice big white door behind us. We'll line the truck up with that. We'll set the lights. This way we know if we got to rotate them up, rotate them down. Now, since we're using the existing wiring, this supplied wiring harness rather, this harness comes with a switch, which you can put in the cab. It also comes, there it is. So this is the relay that you need for that switch. But since we have that switch panel inside, that's what's so nice is we don't have to run wires in the cab. So we're not going to be using this in its entirety. We're going to be cutting it up. This will be going away. The fuse will be going away. This will all be going away. This is also designed as a 4-light kit, so all 4 lights to be installed next to each other. So we'll be eliminating that also. So let's get rid of this mess. All we need is 2 of these wires. Just chase this back, cut that off there. We'll set this aside, so maybe we'll find a place to put those other 2 lights. Also, these zip ties that came with the kit, garbage. So we drop both wires from each light down and drilled 2 holes in this plastic. First, I zip tied the 2 connectors together to hold them strong. Then zip tied it to the 2 holes I made right there and one on the other side. Then I came over here to an existing hole and zip tied the 2 wires there. Now this is all up out of the way, so off the radiator. You don't want this touching the radiator. I threw some small zip ties on the wire loom to keep it together. And I came over here, made a small hole there, zip tied it there. Now my wires can feed straight up. Yes, there is train horns in this truck. Now she can make all the noise and blind people. And what we got here is we're going to pull this wire up through, and we'll probably tuck this wire down underneath, come through the back of the headlight bucket, along the inner fender, and come back up through into the switch panel. All right, let's see if we got juice. We're going to turn the breaker back on, fire up the switch panel. We're going to have to upgrade those headlight bulbs though. That looks good. We'll align all those later. All right, since we got 2 extra lights, I'm thinking maybe we should put those on the headache rack. What do you guys think? I think that might look pretty good. I think that's going to be pretty awesome. We're gonna blow this off, get all the metal shavings out of there, clean everything up. We're gonna leave the tape on it right now. Hit it with a little bit of paint, let that dry, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the lights installed. We'll get to the wiring. What I did, you can angle these lights however you want. We wanted these basically shining straight back, give us as much light to the back. If you're doing more lights or if this work truck, it's always a good idea. You can angle them out just a little bit so they cast light out. This situation, we're gonna angle them slightly down. We'll get light in the bed. We'll get light behind the truck, and that'll be perfect setup for this. All right. We got this all finalized. So just to recap, we got the 2 front lights. We tucked that wire in up along there. It runs down underneath. That comes up to this box. Just pop that lid off. You have those front lights come into this fuse. The back lights come into this fuse. That wire runs down in there, clears the drive shaft, clears the exhaust. Tucked in nice. Then you have a ground that drops down, comes around, runs to the battery here. You got a power wire that runs down, comes to this side of the breaker. Then you have the other side that comes off and runs to the battery. When this is like this pointing up, that's disconnected, so there's no power to the box right now. This is dead. Then all you do is click that. Now we have full power to the box and the control panel inside. So this will just go back on here, like so. And go inside. That remote turn on wire comes in here, which is right here. This is just getting zip tied up. Then we have the switch panel here. That's our front lights, switch 1. Those are on. And we got switch 2, which is the rears. And those are on. Again, this all works off your accessory point in this ignition. So you turn the key off, everything turns off. You don't have to worry about your battery draining down. All in all, I'm pretty happy with the kit. It's very budget friendly. This is a simple install that anybody can do in their garage, their driveway. Doesn't require many tools. I'd recommend it. Simple budget build. Some Amazon lights. You don't need to spend big money on a switch panel. You can buy one of these. I think this was like 70 bucks. Real cheap, real affordable. I have high-end ones. I got a 5th gen 4Runner outside that's built. That has an S-Pod setup. That runs over $1,000. It has a lot of other features, but it does the same thing. So if you're on a budget, I would say it's not a bad... I'm blinding you with this light. Take this thing off. Now just my head blinding you from the lights in the ceiling. Anyways, recommend the kit. It's pretty good. We'll flip here in a minute, and I'll show you a walk around of the truck with the lights on the truck, and turn the shop lights off. Give you a nice visual. All right, finished product. Got those 2 on. This truck came out real good. Beam pattern's pretty good. You can make some final adjustments on that. I took this whole truck down, took the bed off, stripped it all. If you guys want to see a video on all that and how to Raptor line and prep your vehicle and get it all done properly, and I do it a little differently than they recommend, and the finish I end up with is very smooth. It's not a heavy texture, and it holds up really well. I did the same thing on my FJ Cruiser, which is long traveled on 37s, and basically a straight off-road rig, and it's held up awesome. Rear lights look great. Very happy with that product. Well, I want to thank you all for watching. Hope it was informative. If you want to, I'm going to start doing some more videos. We're going to have a lot of awesome content, do all kinds of stuff here in the shop. A lot of late nights, bad ideas, just like the title says. We got projects coming up for my IROC. Got to do a new starter, some wiring in that. 1989 IROC is L98 350 car. So I want to get that thing going. We'll have some fun with that. We're going to go and bring in my 4Runner. It's 5th gen 4Runner that's lifted. And a lot of work done to that. I have some things I want to do. We got new rear control arms for it. Some suspension modifications. Some other odds and ends. Got an FJ Cruiser we're going to be bringing in for some more off-road goodies. I have a SS Trailblazer that's currently down in Long Island at my buddy's shop, and we're waiting on a new motor for that. You'll have to wait and see what that is. It should be quite a monster. So, the biggest project we have coming up is going to be this little S10 sitting over here. That truck is getting stripped down to the chassis, body's coming off, wiring's coming out. Going to be a full drag truck build. Got a twin turbo 408 going in it, but half the parts are here already. So we're going to do a whole build series on that. I hope you guys chime in. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know your thoughts. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. This way you can get updates for all that. I hope you follow along for the projects. Got a lot of other things in the works too. Look forward to seeing you guys around. Maybe I'll see you at the track.